guys, Ash coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion guide. Today it's going to be the Bannerlord Spirit Affinity Epic Champion, Lady Annabelle, and I'm excited for this one because she is the GOAT. What were they thinking making this champion? Well, actually, I don't want to say that too loud. She's really underwhelming, Plarium. If you're watching everybody else, she's amazing. What does she do? First of all, aesthetically, I would say she's fairly pleasing. On the A1, we have a attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit heals this champion by 3% of their max HP. On the A2, attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing a leech for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Also has a 100% chance of placing a decreased speed on targets with less than 50% turn meter. So we get the heal vis-a-vis the leech, and we get the decreased speed, provided their turn meter is low enough. Not a bad ability at all, especially for an epic champion on a 3-turn cooldown. Then on the A3, Sanguine Exchange. Swaps HP with the target ally. It's kind of like a Mother Cybele mini, right? Instead of putting the block damage, we're swapping HP, and whoever has the lower HP after the swap, we're putting a revive on death on that champion. But we also have the strong version of increased speed for 2 turns. Granted, it is on a 4-turn cooldown, but she is bringing a lot to the table, and she's got some killer-based stats, 20k, over 1,000 defense, and then 100 on the speed. But the part that makes her really unique, really special, guys, is the Red Lady. I don't know why. I see the red anything and I immediately go to Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding. I won't give any spoilers, but boy, I'll never forget that episode. Anyway, heals the champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or enemy dies. Okay, so that includes the bombs on Bommal, and she is a Bommal cheat code. And I hate to say that term because it's kind of cringe. Oh, she's a cheat code. But she really is. So we're going to show you her in Bommal. I made a video talking about Bommal and using her for Bommal, but we didn't really take a closer look at Lady Annabelle as well. So she can bring, I just want to say, we're going to show you the Bommal guide, but just overall as a support champion in the game, you could do so much worse out of epic champions. Listen, we're covering some crappy epics, some average epics, and some above average in S tier. I would put her in the above average, maybe not S tier, but in that one niche role, Bommal, she's better than, well, pretty much any legendary in the game. So if you're struggling with Bommal, you'll definitely want to invest in this champion, especially because of this passive. It's very similar to like Berengiri's passive, but she can, well, I'm just going to show you what she can do. First of all, let me show you how I have her built here, guys, before we jump into Doom Tower with this champion. I also want to talk about different ways you can build her outside of just Bommal the Dreadhorn, right? So where are you? I'm telling you, I probably say this every other video, and I apologize for repeating myself. I'm getting old, but I wish there was a champion search button, man. I wish there was, I could do it this way, but like it's just as confusing to me. I'm like, where is it? It's like, where's Waldo here, man? All right, where is she? She's Spirit Affinity, Ash. Let's go down to the Spirit Champions first. There she goes. Man, I like good viewer retention, but I don't like doing it by forcing you guys to watch me search and where's Waldo with champions. Where's Annabelle? So, here she is, guys. She's in the Regen and the Immortal. The crazy thing about this build is, I guess it's not that crazy, but I actually like this build no matter what. So you don't have to, it's not like it's so niche that you only have to use it on Bommal. We've been saying this for so long on the main YouTube channel, Ash Raid Shadow Legends. I don't think there's anybody who's seen a video here and doesn't know me from my main channel, but just in case, hey, I'm Ash. I have another raid channel called Ash Raid Shadow Legends. Anyway, she's in Regen. Regen is probably the most important set in this game for any solo content, right? You're going to have to farm Regen, so, you know, hold on to good Regen gear. And she's in an Immortal, so basically we're going to be getting an 18% heal every turn. Now, obviously, the heal's going to be bigger if she has more HP, so this goes for her, and it goes for any champion that you want to make a solo build with. Maximizing HP is going to be imperative. It's going to be our first goal, right? So, total stats, I'll show you the total stats first. By prioritizing her HP, was able to get her almost to 100k. And with 20k base HP, it's not like it's the highest in the game or anything like that, but anything above 20k, I look at as pretty solid HP, meaning HP percentage substats and main stats is going to serve them well. It's a good scaling off of those numbers, right? So, speed 229, which is honestly pretty slow on others compared to other solo builds that I've seen out there for Bommal. But it still works, and for me using this build, it still works 100% of the time. So I can only speak for myself, but I think when in doubt, maybe go a little bit faster, but 229 is getting the job done. Other than that, we don't really care about much. Little bit of defense, a lot of HP, and as much speed as we can muster, right? We don't even need the resist. 175, we're still going to be taking debuffs, but she's still going to stay alive. So what do we have for gear on her right now? We have obviously HP everywhere. HP on the banner, HP on the amulet, HP on the ring. Looking for HP substats. We get a good one there. Do I have any glyphs? Man, I only have one, but we might as well use it, right? Give me that. Okay, I'll take 3. I consider that a win. There's nothing worse. Am I the only one with a glyph conspiracy here, guys? You ever use a glyph and you get a 1%, and then you just keep using more glyphs and you keep getting 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%? That's happened to me like 20 times. What's up with that? Anyway, I digress. So now, are we over 100K now? Woo! We're so close. All right, so we also have HP on all the accessories, as I mentioned. We have speed, obviously, on the boots. Now, what I did was I took all my speed boots in regen when I was building this champion. Actually, I took all my speed boots, period. And what I did was I farmed a lower level of Sand Devil's Necropolis just to get the lesser oils. And then I took all my speed gear, all my perception boots, my speed boots, my perception speed boots, and my speed boots. And then I rolled them all, just one level, to see if I could get speed on speed. But while I was doing that, I also ran into situations like this where I was like, ooh, HP, I could really use that. So I put the HP percentage as the Ascension stat. That's the only piece of Ascended gear we have in this build, but, I don't regret that decision. Anyway, HP percentage on the chest, HP percentage on the gauntlets. You'll notice that I got a quad roll of crit rate, which is awesome. Except for we don't need it on this champion. So, it's nice to have, but, we don't need her to land critical hits at all. Most of our damage, all of our damage, pretty much, is going to be coming from War Master. So, speed, looking for speed and HP, basically. Speed and HP, wherever I can get it. Wait, do I have any HP? Ooh! Should I burn it? The 6-star? I'm not going to do it. That's a little crazy because I don't need it. She's already getting the job done. Let's save it for somebody in the arena or something like that. All right, so for masteries on this champion, guys, we have, as I said, these are important, especially if you want her to be able to solo content with that amazing passive. We want to pick up Life Drinker, right? Heals this champion, heals by 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking with 50% HP or less. That's going to be important. We need War Master to actually do damage against the target as our tier 6 option. And then on the support side, you will see my favorite masteries for this particular build. We did pick up Lore of Steel to get a little bit extra HP out of our Immortal, really trying to maximize that. And then, of course, we went Lay on Hands for more heals, Healing Savior for, more heals, and we also went with Lasting Gifts on this champion. On this build, guys, we are not worried about landing the decreased speed in the Leech. For that reason, I mean, we still have a respectable amount of accuracy at 206, but I'm getting a lot of it from the Great Hall, and that is noteworthy here. When I do guides on my main account, you guys ought to know that my Great Hall is maxed. I've been playing this game for over 40 years now, so keep that into consideration. In this circumstance, it doesn't really matter because, again, on the solo, we don't care about her, we don't care if she's landing her debuffs or not. However, I will say that if you wanted to use her for both Bommal in other areas of the game, and why wouldn't you? She's a great champion. You might want to either A, look for more accuracy as a substat on your amulet, which is one of the best sources of accuracy in the game, or just go main stat accuracy, or at the very least, just be cognizant of trying to look for accuracy substats too where you can get it. I think I only have one piece of gear, maybe 2. Maybe 3, with accuracy on them. So anyway, guys, that goes without saying. Now we've talked enough about her. I was looking all over for lore because I could have sworn there was some lore on this champion, but I must be wrong because I couldn't find it anywhere. The good news is I'm getting, not a ton, I don't want to overstate it, but on all of these videos on this channel, I'm probably getting like, on average, 2 to 6 comments when I do the lore that you guys love them. So honestly, if I put it at the end of the video and only a few of you guys enjoy it, at least a few people enjoy something that I'm putting out, and it's at the end of the video anyway, so it doesn't inconvenience anybody else. So I'm going to continue doing lore on every single champion that has lore, and the good news is I want to say around maybe like 200 or so, maybe 300 champions have lore for them, so there's quite a bit. Anyway, let's go after Bommal. We're on hard difficulty here, right? Let's go after Bommal. What I like to do is just throw in any DPS alongside her. So I'm going to use Nishak Verminlord because he's a great wave killer. He's not going to do anything against Bommal, although he could do something against Bommal. That's another video for another day. There's no why am I drawing a freaking blank? There's no aura. There we go, Ash. On Lady Annabelle, so we'll use the Nishak in the lead anyway. So what he's going to do is he's just going to clear these waves quickly, and then he's going to die on the very first. He's not going to do any damage to Bommal. So you can use any DPS in tandem with her. You can already see those heals, right? Every time an enemy dies, she's getting that massive heal. Every time a bomb goes off, boom, she's getting that massive heal. It's fun to just watch that insane healing that she does. Not to mention the Immortal set. You can see the 15k from the regen set, and then the other, you know, whatever it is, 3k or whatever it was from the Immortal set as well, right? That's why that 3k, it does matter, or whatever it is. What is it? 3k. That 3100, it does matter. Sometimes I see people running a solo champion in only ooh, that health swap might have been a bad thing. I don't think we wanted her to do that there. Let's see. She still might make it through here. She still might recover. Okay, I think we're going to be good. But as I was saying, sometimes I see people run their regen champion, their solo champion, in only regen, and they just can't get it done, right? The run's not working, whatever. And you just got to switch the Immortal, right? I know Immortal gear is kind of tough to get. It's from Clan Boss only, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? So if your builds aren't working on any solo content, whether it's Drexthar or Eurost or Tomb Lord or Ultimate Death Knight or whatever you're using, you really, sometimes it's important to have, not just for the HP, but mainly for that extra heal. It doesn't seem like much, but it is. And you can see her. She's just getting the job done here, guys. I mean, a lot of heals going down. Every time those bombs explode, red lady, we're back up at full health. So I'm not gonna sit here with you guys. This is Bommal Hard 90, by the way, the hardest Bommal there is, and she's just a solo machine. Hey, sorry about that, guys. My DoorDash arrived. So I'm not going to sit here and make you guys wait for me for, you know, what could be 15 minutes here, 10 minutes. I think around 11 minutes is the average. But you can see the red lady is doing very well here. I'll come back at you when he's around like 5% because this could be pretty boring just hearing me ramble on for 10 minutes. Be right back while I eat. Just before we get back to it here, guys, she has a 4.4 multiplier on her A2 ability. Shout out to hellhades.com for this information. The crew there does a great job on these champions. And that's really it, 2.4 on the A1. But again, this is not a champion that I'm looking for any real damage from, with the exception, of course, of that War Master, which is imperative, especially in the build that you guys see. They give her a book value of 6 out of 10. Keep in mind, you don't need books to take advantage of that Red Lady passive, which is really, really nice. They give her an overall grade of 3. I actually personally think maybe I'm just more kind in my rankings here. It always depends on your account. It always depends on where you are in the game. There's so many different factors that goes into the value of a particular champion to a particular player, right? But with all that said, I mean, I think these scores are fair, first of all. But I would just say that she's a good support champion pretty much everywhere, you know? Like, she's a pretty solid support. She's S tier when it comes to Bommal, and that's what I think you're getting from this champion. So if you're a beginner or if you're mid-game, let me just check back on the game, speaking of it. If you're in the mid-game or the early game, I think she can definitely benefit you. If you're just looking for a solid support slash healer with that increased speed, she's bringing a little bit more to the table, right? You could also put her in Guardian gear if you want to. Build her super tanky, and then you have somebody to absorb some of the damage from the rest of the team as well. If I went with that build, I'll actually show you right when we're done with this battle, but I would switch the Masteries around a little bit as well, so I'll show you that as soon as we're done here. Be right back. What did I say, guys? 11 minutes? I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna make it! The Red Lady taking down the hardest version of maybe the hardest Doom Tower boss. 10 million in heals, no big deal. All right, guys, let's go ahead and I'll show you those changes really quickly that I would make to the Masteries if I was going to use her in a Guardian build just to get more utility out of her. Now, I should also mention, put her in a bolster set as well, right? She's not going to be able to solo in a bolster, but she still gets the 10% heal and the ally shields. So if I was going to use her in just PvE outside of Bommal, I would put her either in a Guardian or a bolster. So let me just show you in case you're, you might be, I get a lot of new viewers. Do I even have, okay. I was like, do I even have any Guardian gear? Wear a Guardian gear, right? Wear absorbs 10% of the damage dealt to allied champions, and it also heals 10% every turn. That's a big, big boost, that 10% damage mitigation that's always active, essentially, for all allies. It's like a mini 10% ally protect on everybody, or a little bit less than a strengthen, just permanently on there, the weak version, that is. Anyway, I would also go with Bulwark, and I would sacrifice the offensive tree, probably, to make her like an all-out support champion. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 5%. She'll receive it instead. So now we're talking 15% damage mitigation, a built-in strengthen. In other words, always on your allies with the Guardian plus Bulwark. If you can keep her alive, which is a big if, she's taking a lot of damage here, you can also pick up Selfless Defender. Decrease the damage an ally receives from the first enemy hit in each round by 20%. This champion will receive that damage instead. So I could see people with that amazing passive she has, as long as she's staying alive, right? Enough defense and HP, maybe she can just be an ultimate epic tank for you guys. So anyway, guys, it's a few ideas to run by you. I'm a big fan of this champion. Let me know what you think of the Red Lady in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And as always, take care, guys.